Before DC and Marvel, Star Wars had my heart. And today, we're going to be covering a story that has long since been forgotten. The story about the bad boy Skywalker. The story about Cade. Get comfortable. Get ready to be entertained. And if you're a fan of Star Wars, when Star Wars used to be cool, before Disney messed it all up, this is a story for you. The story takes place 100 or so years into the future, long after the reign of Dark Sidious and Darkseid. This was in a world ruled by an army of Sith. For those of you who know the legend of the Sith, you know it's just supposed to be two. But this guy, the new Dark Lord, yeah, he said, fuck that. I'm going to have a whole army of Force users, all pledged allegiance to me and me alone, and he decided to wipe out every Jedi in the known universe. None was allowed to live. And now we meet our lovely protagonist, Cade Skywalker, and his father, Cole. You could tell already right off the bat that Cade was a piece of shit. He does not listen. His father gave him clear instructions to go to the ship and protect the younglings, but he wanted to fight. But these Sith, they were all masters, at least a bunch of them. They decimated well-trained Jedi. What they would have done to Cade if they reached him would have been worse. His father actually had to lock in and say, yeah, I'ma fight you, just so my kid could escape. But his kid couldn't just watch him die. Cade came forth and wanted to fight, but his father said, for once in your life, listen to me. You are a Skywalker. Act like it. So he took his fallen master to the youngin's ship, and he was dying. He was honestly gone. But Cade, with the Force, pulled him back from death. But just like everything else, the Force giveth, and it taketh away, because his father died at that exact moment. He felt his life force leave the Force, and this backlash pushed Cade into the dark side. I mean, healing was enough to do that already, but feeling his father's death made him just want death. He wanted more. He wanted to end it, cause it. He wanted to be it. So in the pretext of allowing the younglings escape, he hopped on a ship and went to do battle in space. His master came forth asking, where is Cade? And he saw him. He felt the rage, and he said to himself, yeah, we need to leave. But it was too late. They shot on Cade. Cade died. But his master did not believe that nonsense. He brought me back from death. We are connected. Cade lives. We will find him one day. But for now, we need to leave. They see someone had victory today, and that someone was the Empire, because the Empire had an alliance with the forces of the Sith, and now the alliance was about to shatter, because the Sith bows to no man, especially not a weak-willed Empire. He popped out with his crew, and he went to work, butchering every single knight the Empire had to protect him. The rest wanted to join the fight, but the commanding officer told him to chill, let the Dark Lord cook. Homeboy expected that he would take the throne after this was all over, but nah, the Dark Lord took the throne for himself. Cade, the new emperor, he was pissed off. But what could he do? What could he actually do but pledge his loyalty and leave the throne room like some type of pussy? But Cade was unhappy. He killed the Emperor, yes, but this was a dumble, and he could feel it with the Force. This was a fake. Bring me the original, or you die. As they left, we discovered a big secret. Cade is dying. He could feel his life force slipping away, but something spoke to him. Long, far away, he felt Cade pull someone from death. He craved this power, and he was going to get it. A few years went by, and we see that this is a very different universe. Everyone, every Jedi was hiding. They were not even allowed to congregate because the Force would make every single Force user in the universe know exactly where they were. Like right now. Because yes, they were in trouble. They were surrounded. After dispatching as many as they could, they decided, alright, it is time we find Cade Skywalker, because this cannot work without him. But where was Cade? If he wasn't dead, where the hell was he? We get our answer real quick because we follow a group of criminals laying low in a bunker that no one was supposed to get access to without a pass. But you see, there was an alien at the front of the door and she looked stunning. The doorman felt obligated to just let them in, but that was a mistake because she wasn't alone. She was with pirates, bounty hunters, and one of them looked very familiar. Their leader was Cade, and he had a mission here. They were on a hunt for a traitor, but as they were hunting him down, a Jedi was in their midst, and he decided to fight. Cade saw this as an opportunity to make extra money. We turned the Jedi in, alive of course. We get paid. But you see, that was easier said than done. These guys were prepared. But Cade was a Skywalker. With the Force, he toyed with everyone around him. He wanted the Jedi alive, and so they captured him alive. It was tough, but the deed was done. Now it's time to take him back. But again, easier said than done, because they still broke into a safe house that was against the rules. When they found out that, yeah, you mess with us, we fuck up your business, the owner of the bar said, alright, you could go. You cool. So they took off, and like I said, Cade is a piece of shit. The Jedi was begging for his life, but he just said, it's a hard galaxy, son. Tough it out. He was a complicated young man, and stuff was about to get more complicated because you see, the Dark Lord now had his own personal assassin, the Sith assassin called Talon, and she was with that smoke, with full loyalties to the Dark Lord only. She killed her freaking teacher with no remorse. And when she was done, he was proud. He had a mission for her. I want you to track the princess and bring her to me. If you cannot, well, you shall be replaced. But again, Talon was with that smoke. She tracked the princess so quickly and even dispatched the princess's master. I need to know where she is. Using the Force, she dug through her memories and found what she needed. When she was done, she offed the guard, no remorse. The princess from the distance could feel her master die, and she knew, well, I would go and help them, but we have a mission to succeed in. So they kept on moving. Cade and his party, however, were failing tremendously. Bringing the Jedi in alive is way harder than they thought. Homeboy was trying to run for his life, but Cade caught up to him. Even the Jedi was like, I can feel you. You are a Jedi, a strong one at that. Why do you hide? It was a great question. Sadly, it was going to go unanswered, because now they met the boss, and he was an even shittier person than Cade himself, because he got Cade hooked on death sticks, a type of narcotic that helps him disconnect from the Force. He was tired of being haunted by the memories of his past. He wanted to move ahead and forget. His crew did not like this. They needed the money, but he didn't give a damn what they wanted. You either rock with me or you could get off my ship. His team knew they had no other option, but still, Cade used to be great. Now he just seems pathetic. Oh, if he knew. But while all this was going on, the Emperor had assembled his forces. He was going to take back his capital without remorse. Even when they saw him, they wanted to arrest him on the spot. But half of them didn't care about any of the Dark Lords. Good soldiers follow orders. Thankfully, this place was filled to the brim of good soldiers very loyal to the Emperor. Now, they had to move forward. But first, his main focus was with his kid. She was out there in the galaxy being hunted by Talon. We'd need to go save her. But he knew better. If we go save her, it's a trap. We have to lay low. Sadly, his daughter didn't have much time to live. And funny enough, Cade was having the time of his life. His whole crew was locked outside, but he was here talking to the Force ghost of Luke Skywalker, who was very disappointed in him. You are a Skywalker, a Jedi. What is all this? Cade was not having none of this talk. He knew he was a piece of shit. I don't want to hear that nonsense again. I read the books. I know what happens to every Skywalker. We are destined for the dark side, and I will not be controlled. Now leave. Placing his hand on his blaster, Luke said, boy, I'm a ghost. Shooting me does nothing. He said, oh yeah? Well, I'll just shoot myself. Get out. And Luke just left. Now that that was settled, he gave his team access back into the ship. Everything was supposed to be chill, going back to normal, until from the distance, they saw the princess running towards them. She tried to even use the Jedi mind trick on him. The fuck? Before he could even respond, he saw who she was running from and realized, yup, we need to move now. The Siths don't play. Start the ship. Anyone who got in his way got cursed out. He was clearly still dealing with a lot of trauma. Watching his friends die, his mentor die, is a hard day to be him. Regardless, they made their escape, and he gave her room. Sadly, Blue was not a fan of this. Shorty wanted to go next so badly, but you see, before that could even happen, they needed to talk. His crew had to understand why they carried the princess, and when they saw her wanted poster, they went ballistic. Oh boy, we are about to be rich. Where do we turn her in? And he corrected, we are not turning her in. At least not to the Empire. We still need her. And honestly, how much do you think a father will pay for the life of his daughter? That's when it finally clicked what was about to happen. Yup, we're going to sell her to her father and the Sith at the same time and get as much money as possible. Let the games begin.